Hey, Julie Bartkus here, and I am coming to you live today to bring you the message about it's possible. And I was trying to think of a creative opening for the video, so I put on my Believe in Possible shirt that I often wear when I'm working with my clients. And you know, this is a big part of attracting dreamy staff to your childcare program is what are the possibilities that you believe in? And I want to challenge you to really challenge your mindset in terms of what you believe is possible for you in your childcare program. And if you're tuning into this, please give me a like, give me a heart. Let me know that you're here and that you can hear me. And I want to give you just a few ideas today on this training to really help you expedite your results when it comes to attracting great staff. And my cat's wandering around here, so sometimes she jumps up on me. So if I look around, actually she's going into my computer bag. But if you're here, say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what your biggest challenge is when it comes to attracting your staff. Now, you may notice that I use a very specific word, and that word is attracting. Because for so many years, owners and directors have been asking me, Julie, where do we find good staff? Where do we look? And I really come to the realization that it's about more than looking, more than finding, because some people have tremendous success on Indeed, while others don't. Some have tremendous success in partnering with colleges, and others don't. Some have tremendous success in using some of the strategies that I recommend to my mentorship members with Facebook, and others don't. Some have tremendous success when it comes to their help wanted ads, and others don't. So what really makes the difference between those who are experiencing the success with different things and those who aren't? And that's what I want to help drive home today on this live video training, because I want to set you up so that when Monday comes around, you're a little bit more in the know about what you need to do and what you need to put into place so that you could attract your dreamy staff. So before I continue, though, I do want to make sure that you can hear me. Oh, I think we already got a like there. Thank you. But go ahead and say hello. And if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have challenges, go ahead and list them right here on this page for me. And I will come back and read the comments. And I'm so thrilled that you're part of our childcare business success community. And I'm also so thrilled to bring you this video. And I want to talk to you again about believing in the possibles and the word attraction, and why I use that word as opposed to finding or digging up or whatever it might be that we use in this industry to talk about the process that we go through when we find or when we get our good staff in place. And there was a worksheet that I did a while ago that I made available for the public, which contained about 25 different questions on how to attract your dreamy staff. And if you didn't get that, I encourage you to search through this page, and you'll find it here as a free giveaway that we had. And we're going to be doing some testing with some different times to bring you some live video trainings because I get motivated and inspired when I have interaction. So it doesn't do me, you know, like I don't get my kicks from just talking to a live screen per se, but I know that we'd have lots of people tuning into the replay of this, and it will help them. But if you do pop on, and I see more of you coming on right now, please, please, please say hello. Let me know that you're here. Let me know what you're relating to. Let me know what your questions and your challenges are. And I want to make sure that we've got concrete information in place to help you take your staff recruitment efforts to a whole other level. So let's dive in and let's talk about the word attraction. And I believe in life, whether you believe in the universal law of attraction, that we're always attracting things to us. We're either attracting or deterring things from coming into our energetic space. Hey, Crystal, nice to see you here. And we're always attracting, whether it's the positive or the negative. And whether you believe in the universal law of attraction, and it's a little bit deeper than it is in the book In the Secret. That hits on part of it, but there's a whole other layer to it. And whether you believe in the law of attraction or the law of vibration, which I'm going to share with you, it's always at work. It's always at work, one way or the other, whether you believe in it or not. And you may have had the experience of thinking about something for a long period of time and really thinking about it, almost being in energetic sync with it. And then the next thing you know, you see that thing or you run into that thing or over and over and over again. You start having experiences with that thing, or maybe it's the person, or maybe it's a situation. And if you're in a childcare program and you're the owner, you're the director, and you're always attracting a certain kind of staff, or the same kind of situation is always happening, you have to ask yourself, why am I attracting this to me? And what's the repeating pattern, and how do I start breaking that so I could experience a new result? And that is a huge question that I encourage you to write down, is how can I start breaking this pattern? So don't expect it or accept it as the norm. And that's what so many people do in this industry, is they say, oh, well, staff motivation issues always going to be a challenge. Staff attraction, staff finding great staff is always going to be an issue. If you are saying those words and giving those words credence, you are going to prove yourself right absolutely every single time. So for you to start really tapping into the law of attraction when it comes to the kind of staff that you want in place, you've got to start changing the words that are coming out of your mouth and the thoughts that you are dwelling on. And we can't necessarily control all the thoughts that we think, because according to most leading psychologists, we have approximately 60,000 thoughts every single day. 60,000 thoughts, that's a lot. But what we can do and can choose very carefully are the thoughts that we dwell on. So if you go to a childcare conference and you're hearing things like, oh, this is the childcare industry, there's always a lack, there's always a shortage, we can't pay enough, you're buying into the lack mentality that equates to fear, and fear collapses the vision. So what you want to be doing is bringing the vision to life and feeding and fueling your program and your desired results with visionary thoughts and visionary emotions. And that requires you to identify the thoughts that you're thinking that are attracting the situations you don't want to have happen. And that is really big. That's a huge nugget of gold. And the thoughts that we think of, the things that we don't want to happen, I want to share with you a very specific example. Hey, Maribel, nice to see you here. Welcome into my home. I'm sitting in my kitchen, and behind me is my living room. And my office space is all downstairs. I'm getting that still set up. So someday I'll give you a little tour of that space, and maybe even my purple bedroom. But this is really about attracting to yourself the situations that you desire, the situations that you deserve, because I really believe that if you opened your doors to your childcare program for a reason, everything that you need to make it successful is here. You've just got to buy into that belief. But too often we're surrounded by the lack mindset, or the belief that it can't happen. And when you buy into that, your results, this is another writer downer, your results will never expand beyond your own mindset. So if you're in this repeating pattern, attracting needy staff, never having enough staff, staff who quit with 1 moment's notice, whatever your repeating patterns are, I would get very, very clear on what they are, and then purposely decide to give yourself a new experience. Purposefully decide to give yourself a new experience. This is really important. So where does this come into play? So let's go back to attracting to us different things that we think about. This is the basic of the law of attraction. Now, where the book The Secret stopped is in talking about, yeah, what you think about comes into fruition. Well, imagine if every single thought you had started coming into reality. You started thinking about $1 million, now you have $1 million. You started thinking about this hot guy you saw down the street, there he is, whatever it might be. But if it's a thought, and this is the law of vibration, that you resonate with, and that's in tune with what your heart's true desire is, and you start thinking and focusing and dwelling on those thoughts, that's what you can bring into existence. And I'm really good at bringing things into existence. I'm really good at what they call manifesting things. And a lot of it has to do with getting in touch with what your true desires are. So to understand, now a lot of times we say, yes, I desire the best staff. But then a lot of times we have a lot of fears about having those best staff in place. And then we've got to get over those fear thoughts about what would it really be like if we had all these staff in place. Maybe we have to up our game because they would be brighter or maybe a little bit of a threat to us. And these are normal emotions to have. So it's not anything to criticize yourself over. It's something to become aware about so that you can stand in a totally new space when it comes to what you want to attract. So the way that you really manifest into existence what you want is to have the thoughts that you think be in alignment with the true desires of your heart. Did you get that? This is the law of attraction and the law of vibration, is that the thoughts that you think have to be at the same energetic or vibrational level as the true desires in your heart. Now, a lot of times we're trying to make things come into fruition that really aren't a desire. You know, you don't want to have somebody who's prettier working for you or somebody who's smarter working for you, or maybe you're afraid that if they do come in, they're not going to stay. So it's the thoughts that you're thinking about, and what are you resonating with more, the fear or the vision? And that's what you're going to bring into existence for yourself. Now, I'll give you a very simple example, and I share this often with my childcare audiences, but in 2012, after my husband passed away, and if you don't know that story, I'll reveal it to you as time progresses, but after my husband passed away, I was ready just to trade in my car and get a different car, and I saw a Malibu 2012. I'm like, oh, this is a pretty cool, and I've been driving crossover vehicles for a while, but I thought the Chevy Malibu would be like, oh, a cool car, and the salesman was like, this is the best car ever, and it's luxury, and it's fully loaded. Here, take it home and drive it. And I was driving the car, and I'm like, gosh, this is really cool. Nobody else has this car. And then I came back in after I did my test driving. I said, okay, I'll get the car. I signed on the dotted line, and I drove the car off. And then after thinking for so long, like, oh, there's nobody else has this car, I signed on the dotted line, and I started seeing Chevy Malibus everywhere. I mean, it's so bad now, and I'm taking pictures all the time of where I see Malibus. I was behind one the other day. I park in between two of them at airport. They are just all over the place. So I was focusing on the Malibus, and I started seeing them. So that was pretty cool because it was a true desire of my heart. Now I bought it. Now I'm driving it. Now I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And lately on stage, and you know, when I'm a single gal dating, and I'd be talking about what kind of cars the guys drive or whatever, and I'm always like, well, as long as it's not a Kia Soul, because I don't think Kia Souls, and if you have a Kia Soul, no offense, they're a great car to get into, it's just not my style. And I'm like, Kia Souls are not very sexy, they're not this, they're not that. And now, in addition to Malibus, I'm also seeing tons of Kia Souls on the street. And the reason I'm seeing Kia Souls everywhere is because I'm focusing on it. And I'm resonating with the fact that I don't want it. I don't want it, you know, to be a guy who I date to have one, and I don't want to have one. So, but now I'm seeing them all over the place. And it's crazy because once you bring things into your conscious awareness and you start thinking the thoughts that are in alignment with the desires in your heart, even if those desires are things you don't want, those are things that you could start manifesting and bringing into existence. Is this resonating with you? If it is, give me an oh yeah. Or let me know your concerns or your challenges, or if I'm triggering you in any way. But I really want you to understand this, because if you can make a mental mindset shift, it could be a game changer for you. And other childcare programs are going to look at you saying, oh my goodness, how are they the childcare program who's attracting these amazing staff? How are they the one? And I want you, because you're here watching this, to be the one. And I want you to walk in the land of it's possible, like my shirt I showed you when we first opened this video, is to walk in the land of it's possible, in the land of possibilities for what you want to bring into existence. But it's not my desires, it's yours. And what are you really resonating with? If you're on the same energetic level and the thought patterns as your fears, more so than your vision, the fears are what you're going to bring into existence. And this is so important to understand. So a lot of times we have words on, and if you got the email from me, you know, it said things like, I'm struggling, it's a challenge, it's hard, it's difficult. If you keep speaking those words, those are the results that you're going to get. But it's really hard to change your mindset and change the dialogue that you're having, because it's what you're hearing all the time, especially in this industry. It's hard. Go to a conference and see how many times. Go count, play a game. Count how many times, make a little check mark list in your notebook and say, here's how many times I've heard, and come back and tell me, it's hard, it's a challenge, it's a struggle, it's this, it can't happen, there's no good staff in this industry, where do we, you know, look at all the lack thoughts and keep tally, and then come back and share those with me. Those are the people who are not going to attract the situations to them that they really desire, because they're resonating too much on the level of things that they don't desire. Does that make sense to you? I'm going to take a sip of my tea. You know, and in my land of it's possible, and I would really like to welcome you to the land of it's possible, I really stretch my mindset, and I work on expanding my mindset every single day, and I recognize where I'm looking at lack in situations. And one of the things that came up at our Create Your Dream Team experience, and I share often true stories of my life. So I shared with the audience about one lack thought that is probably really keeping them stuck. And I asked them, how many times do you think about that one position, that one teacher or the director or whatever it is that you need? And you think, I only need that one. I only need that one. And you're like, oh, it shouldn't be that hard. I only need that one. And you're using the word hard. But what happens is that that's also lack thought. And I correlated this with me dating, because so often I tell God or the universe, you know, I just want that one man, that one relationship, that one thing. And then I tuned into a dating coach, and she said that you can't be thinking about that one because it puts too much of a desperate energy on that one person who's going to show up. So this is in the dating world, but also think about this with your childcare program. How often have you got that one person, they had the interview, and then you put all your eggs in the basket thinking, yep, I got the one, she's really good. So I started changing my lack thought, because when we think just bring me that one, that is a lack thought. So I started changing my mentality to bring me, God, universe, I'm very spiritual, God, universe, bring me 3 to 5 top candidates for that one position that I need. Bring me 3 to 5. And then the weirdest thing started happening. So in my dating life, I went from just meeting one man, another man, you know, and then going through these little mini relationships to where I have these 3, 4, 5 amazing guys. And on my personal Facebook page, I just wrote a little note there where last night I went out on a first date and he greeted me with a handwritten thank you card and a pink flower, which is my favorite, pink rose. And he greeted me with those items. And then I've got 3 or 4 other guys waiting for dates who look like they'd be really good prospects. But now that I've opened myself up to that world of possibilities, the bigger issue is going to be, well, who am I going to hurt in the process? Because now I have the opportunity to choose between 3 to 5 different guys. And I want to ask you if you've got that fear as well. Hey, Crystal, nice to see you here. But if you've got that fear as well, where you think, oh, what if I had 3 to 5 amazing candidates for that one position? And in part of your mind, you go, woohoo, I do a happy dance. But that also means that you're going to have to confront another fear, which is the fear or the need of being liked, which plagues many of us, especially women in the childcare industry. So now you might have the opportunity to where you've got 3 to 5 top candidates, and you have to turn down 3 or 4 of them because you've only got one immediate position open. See my cat? There she is. Hey, cat. And actually, my cat's name is Cat because when she showed up a couple weeks after my dog passed away, I didn't plan on keeping her. And so I just started calling her Cat. So that's her name. But she stayed. Everybody said she was my angel kitty, so I couldn't turn her away. I fed her sardines and milk, and I think she figured she had a pretty good deal here. So, so that's Cat. You'll probably see her make guest appearances in different videos. But she's really good kitty. She's more like a cat dog. Do you have one of those? So the bigger issue comes into play when now you're like, oh my goodness, I've got 3 to 5 amazing people. Who am I going to have to turn down? Who am I going to have to say, sorry, you know, we hired somebody else to? And that can become a scary place. But this is where, you know, the law of attraction and the law of vibration comes into play. Because in your imagination, and this is where it really starts, if you want to break out of repeating patterns. So let's say you just have a staff member who leaves and you're sad, you're depressed, you're like, oh my, what am I going to do? Well, you're focusing on that. That's what's going to expand for you. But you could totally change that on an energetic level and go, woohoo, when one person leaves, it always makes room for a bigger, greater energy to come into my life. It always does when you focus on that side of the equation. And I've got lots of stories I could share with you about how I put that to work for me, is just celebrating when things and people leave. And, one of the biggest lessons for me was when I lost my husband instantly and suddenly. And I was just like, universe is trying to teach me about letting go and about letting go of people and not being the saver of people, to realize I can't save. That I'm here to teach, I'm here to educate, I'm here to inspire, I'm here to do my thing. But so many of us see us as savers of all these people and animals and whatever else comes into our energy zone, that it's really hard to let people go who aren't a right match for us. So really think about using your imagination to start putting yourself in those ideal situations that you would like to have happen. So over this weekend, instead of closing your eyes and thinking stress thoughts about what can't happen, or about who's going to call out sick, or about who's not going to come back to work after you hire them, start seeing and close your eyes and start imagining a line of people just waiting to get into your childcare program. Play with this in your imagination. This is where it starts. Close your eyes and just imagine the best situations coming into fruition. Imagine everybody showing up out on time and ready for work, ready for their shift. Too often we use our mind to just play into the situations that we're seeing with our eyes. But what we have to start doing is seeing situations with our mind's eye. And I often talk about the book, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And there's a lot of power in that book, but there's two key words. If you haven't read it, it's imagination and desire. Desire and imagination. And what's really interesting is in this book, in the 40s, when people were going bankrupt and businesses were shutting down, there were people who still, in spite of circumstances and situations they saw with their eyes, they made their millions. They made their millions. And Napoleon Hill wanted to study these people and say, how, when situations and times are so bad, can some people be thriving and making their millions? And he tied it into two secret words that are in the book, which is desire and imagination. Being in sync with the true desires that are in your heart. So a lot of us, though, like I said earlier when I started this, the true desires that are in our heart are fear-based. We don't mean for them to be that, but it's the dominating thought. It's the lack thinking. And that's what causes us to get the result or get caught up in the same repeating patterns that we always have. So now when you have staff and you have another one who turns over, you simply say to yourself, isn't that interesting? Now let me think a different thought. I'm going to close my eyes and imagine the ideal person coming in through those doors, or me being out at the grocery store and attracting the ideal person to come into my childcare program, or having a conversation with somebody. So it's not just about sitting there going, dreamy staff, dreamy staff, dreamy staff, come into my existence. It's about being energetically in sync with what your true heart's desire, and then listening for the action that you need to take. And from this energetic place, when you feel on top of the world high, on top of the world energetically in that zone, that's when you write your help wanted ads. That's when you make a few phone calls. That's when you go out into the community. That's when you put it out there. But another mistake that we're doing when it comes to the law of attraction or attracting our dreamy staff is that we wait until we are fear-filled or in desperation mode. And then once we're in desperation mode, oh my goodness, I just need 2 teachers, and will 2 teachers please come and work for me because we've got this great childcare program and we're gonna have to close down if we don't have these 2 teachers in place. So then we're putting out there just desperation. It's not attraction. And you can't have 2 contradicting thoughts at one time. So you can't think a positive and a negative at the exact same moment. You can alternate and you can think one or the other, but you can't think both at the exact same time. So I want you for a moment just to close your eyes. Go ahead, close your eyes, or I could move aside here. You could enjoy the fire. There we go. Maybe, let me see how I have to position myself. I can't get me there. Okay. So I just gotta scooch over this way. I don't know. Okay, so there we go. So close your eyes or just look into the fire, and I want you to think about what you ideally want to have happen. So close your eyes or just look past me, look into the fire, and think about what is it that I really, really, really want to bring into existence. What are the thoughts that I resonate with? How many ideal candidates would you like to show up for that one opening, or those two openings, or those three? And see them coming into your space. And also see yourself successfully accepting that one person into that role. And then also see yourself having communication with the others. That maybe something will happen in the future, but you've made your top choice and you're thanking them for coming in and applying for a position with you. And maybe you have a process in place so the people who come in and apply for a job with you also feel very honored to be in your energetic zone. So just close your eyes for that, for just a moment. Think about that. Just breathe with that. Just look into my eyes, because I believe in the possibilities of what you can bring forth, of what can transpire in your childcare program when you get your mindset piece right and the vision. But your vision, and I'll share with you one last piece of information. If you've got any comments, if this has been helpful for you, let me know, and I'll share with you a couple examples how I'm always putting the law to work in my own life. But excuse me. The one thing I want you to know is that people are attracted to other people who they think can increase their lives. So when you're going to enroll parents, the same thing works. All this works for attracting your parents too. But when you think about how to attract, you have to be in such a place with your mindset and your vision and who you're being in this world, to where people come into your energetic presence and they think, wow, this person can totally expand my life. And that's why parents will enroll once they get the feeling that little Johnny's life is going to be increased because they're in your presence. That's why new staff are going to want to work for you, because they feel in some way their life is going to be increased. And that's the impression of increase, is that we always want to be putting out there pardon me, energetically, that we can increase other people's lives just by them being in our presence. And that will help you energetically vibrate on the level of your heart's true desire, which is the people who you want to attract. If you've benefited from this, I encourage you to give me a like, give me a heart, make a comment, and this will help the video show up in other people's stream when they get to coming here. And whether you're tuning into the live broadcast or the replay, please leave a comment. I do come back and read through these. And my mission is to really help you attract and retain your dreamy staff and help you walk into the world of it's possible. Your mind and your mindset controls so much more than you possibly can even imagine until you start putting it to test. This morning I was in bed laying there, not having problems breathing, eyes watering, coughing like crazy. And I said, no, I'm going to go and do this live video. And universe, I need you to take this away, even if you do it momentarily, so I can go and do a live broadcast. I didn't have much of a voice this morning. I think my voice sounds pretty good. And I've got some tea here and some Kleenex just in case I need it. But you can control so much with your mindset for the situations you want to bring into your life, for what you're willing to tolerate, for even just how sick you feel. And I kept telling myself, okay, universe, I'm going to do my hair, put a little makeup on, put on some pretty pink clothes. I'm going to light my fire for my people. And I want you to work with me and suspend this cold, suspend this whatever I have going on. And I want to do this. And so I came on. I didn't see it as an excuse because I was easily thinking, do I go on? Don't I go on? I'm like, you're going on. So you could easily see things as excuses. The mindsets people have around you when it's time to get the flu and people start writing on Facebook, oh, I feel so sick and I knew this was coming. I'm going to be down for days now. I tell it to get out of my body. I say, what lesson are you here to teach me? Let me learn it. Let you get out of my body. Let me get on with my work that I need to do. And as you can see, there hasn't been really any signs of me coughing, losing my voice. My eyes are a little watery. But this happens over and over and over again. And there was one time where I was actually on site with a child care program, and I think it was 2 days. And during this event, there would be a door that I would consistently exit out of. Put my lunch plate down, go out the door, go to the bathroom, come back in. On the last day of the event, one of the hotel staff had turned the tables over upside down where the legs fold in. So I was there talking at lunch to my clients. I put my plate down and I headed straight out. Well, in the process of heading straight out, I tripped on one of these tables, and I was wearing my wedge shoes, and I tripped on one of these tables, and it got caught, my foot twisted, and I fell and hit the floor. And I'm laying there on the floor with still 4 hours left to present, and then a plane ride immediately home. And I'm laying there on the floor thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? And I made a decision that my body was going to start healing immediately. So I got my client. She brought in a chair with wheels on it, put a foot in ice, lifted it up, and wheeled me back into the room. And I told everybody, don't focus on my foot. It's kind of like, don't focus on the purple elephant in the room. But I said, don't focus on my foot. We're going to get through this next 4 hours together. My foot was throbbing. It was getting bigger. And, poor Josh, who was sitting next to me, my foot was like hoisted up in a bag of ice. But I got through the next 4 hours of the presentation. I flew home. The hotel got me crutches and went to the doctors and found out I had broken my foot. But through the last 4 to 5 hours of that presentation, I was sustained because my mindset wouldn't accept anything else. And I challenged my mindset in ways that I don't necessarily encourage you to do until you build your strength, and then you can start testing it, saying, how far can I push my mindset on this? But it's really interesting to me to challenge my mindset and to see what kind of different results I get in my life, whether it's financial, whether it's people showing up. And even at our Create Your Dream Team experience, somebody approached me on stage and says, Julie, I would love to be part of your team, and while I'm running my childcare program, help you do this as well. And I'm like, okay, there we go, another staff member. So I've got people lined up all over the place that I can call to say, hey, we need an extra trainer, we need an extra coach, we need this, we need that. And they're always there. But your results are going to be a determinant of your mindset. And the results that you get in your life will never, ever expand or outgrow your mindset. So today, this weekend, I start encouraging you to start playing with your imagination, get in touch with your true desire, and start thinking and purposely dwelling on thoughts that are in sync or in alignment with what you really want. But first, you've got to identify. You've gotta identify what it is that you truly want. And I also invite you, before I close this out, is that we just launched our Total Team Transformation System. And you may have heard about this, and you may have jumped on board with the Total Team Transformation. But basically, the foundational piece of this at-home system that I got is going to be the videos from our live event, the Create Your Dream Team Experience, which was phenomenal, and the energy was off the charts. And I even had a whole stage of men dancing up on my stage, which was a really cool moment. We're going to include that in for you. If you're one of the guys there, sorry, we're going to put that out there for the world to see. But that's a foundational piece of the system. The other thing is that we are going to be doing 3 months of coaching with you while you're working through the system. The other thing that we're going to be doing also is you're going to have access to a special closed Facebook group. And then we've got some bonuses. There's a video series that I did years ago about the 40 staff demotivators. And you're going to get that as a bonus. as well as Reclaim Your Time, I believe also is in there. So there's several different bonus, as well as my Break Your Gossip Chain program. And I'll drop the link in here for you to that program. But if you don't see it and you're really interested in being involved with this system or this program, shoot me a private message, or my Chief of Happiness, Loretta, if you're in touch with her, or you can also tag my manager, Jana, also. And we will put the link here for you. But if you really want to be involved with the system, we're going to be kicking off our coaching calls within the next couple of weeks. So you could jump onto that journey. And if you feel that's not right for you, that's what also is included is a free ticket to come to my next event. So we're going to be doing Create Your Dream Team Experience again in the fall because it was so phenomenal. And it is a small group experience to where you will experience energy shifts. And for example, we had 2 of our students who left the Create Your Dream Team Experience. They're also mentorship members. But one attracted 2 staff to work for her immediately based on the ads that we wrote at the event. And you're going to see this in the video footage too. If you sign on for the system, you'll see the process that I take everybody through to really write their ads from that energetic space. And then we had another person who got 9 candidates to come in and apply for a position that he was really excited about. So I will drop the link for you, but if you don't see it and you just hear me talking about this, shoot me a private message or tag me in a comment, and I'll make sure that you get that link so you can join us on that journey, which is going to be actually starting right now, but it will be starting again in another couple weeks. Please come to Boston. I know we're working, Maribel, on the next location, and we're getting a lot of votes for the White Mountains. So that was always a pretty spot. The White Mountains in the New England area are gorgeous. So many gorgeous areas out there. So we always look for a dreamy spot. We were just at the Westin in Lake Las Vegas, which was gorgeous. So we're looking to bring our small group to some of these really dreamy spots so that we can expand our mindset and open ourselves up to the world of it's possible. All right, please make sure you like, comment, or love this video. And that will really help us help more people who maybe are going to tune into the replay. So the more likes you get on a video, the more other people in the group are going to see it. So I would love your likes, love your comments, love your questions. And do you have any questions for me? Has this been helpful? I'm always like, I'm going to go for 20 minutes, and then it's an hour later. What time is it? So we're probably on for a good half hour or so. All right. Questions, comments, what'd you think? Did you relate to the content? Did you like it? So remember, it's the law of attraction and the law of vibration. And how in sync are they? And if you're really walking around with all the fears in your mind, that's what you're vibrating with. That's what you're in energetic sync with. So now it's the opportunity, and come back and re-listen to this broadcast, but now it's the opportunity to get yourself in sync with your vision, with your desires, with what it is that you really want. I'm Julie Bartkus. I hope you benefited from this. I look forward to your comments. And I will come back and read them and also do another free training for you. And we're going to try to figure out what day is best, what time is best. But I felt, even though I was deathly ill this morning, I felt inspired to test myself and say, can I do this? And my mind said, yep, you can do this. Go ahead. You'll be healthy. You'll be good. And I think we had a great training. So thank you so much for being here. And we'll come back and do another one. But I want you, my biggest desire is for you to come into work on Monday, being able to shift your mindset over the weekend and know how to attract amazing people to you. Not just staff, not just clients, but if you're a single gal or single guy like me dating, to attract dreamy people to you on all levels. And I often hear from our childcare owners too that they don't have a lot of solid friendships. So, you could attract amazing friends to you with the strategies that I'm talking about. But you've got to get clear on what you really desire. And you've got to make a decision that you are a people magnet, and you're going to attract all the people to you who can help you fulfill your vision, not only for your childcare program, but for your life. I'm Julie Bartkus. Hey, Rose, nice to see you here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Julie Bartkus, and I'll see you on the next training, if not before. And make sure you tell your friends about the Childcare Business Success Group so that we can help them create their positive, productive, and profitable childcare program and dreamy life. I'm Julie Bartkus. See you soon.